Hey, real quick, I want to talk about these MAP sensors in the 87 and 88 speed density Mustangs. Mine's an 87, so it has what's called a MAP sensor. If you have a 88 California car or an 89 or to 93, it's called a BAP sensor. The MAP sensor is for a manifold absolute pressure. And what this thing's responsible for is when you turn the key on and you hear that sweet sound of the fuel pump being primed. What it's doing at that point is this sensor is taking a reading from that manifold and it's sending it over to the computer on the floor in the kick plate in the passenger floor area, and it's telling it what the fuel and spark ratios need to be. So it's like predetermined everything. It's reaching into the map and figuring out, where the car needs to be running at. Why I'm posting this is that I replaced this intake manifold, this Cobra intake. I put a Cobra intake on my car because I used to have a comp polymer bread box intake, and I don't know if those directions of those things, I bought it like that. I don't know when they tell you to install them if you are to actually run this vacuum line over to your vacuum tree, because it was lined up over here on my vacuum tree. It was plugged right into the BR port, which I've now blocked off. But this is the source. This is for this goes directly to your manifold. I don't know what the BR is for. Maybe somebody knows out there. The AC runs over to your vacuum ball in your fender over on the passenger side. Then you've got your speed control, which is your cruise control, and that runs into a canister that's inside over here inside this fender. And then the last one's your brake booster. It goes down to your brake booster. So that's where your vacuum is for your brake booster. So those are your vacuum lines there. But this sensor, back to the sensor, it was hooked up to the vacuum tree. And when I switched out this Cobra intake, and I got it all started up, I got everything put back together, I started it up, the car felt like it was missing and hesitating and chugging. It was just, it'd just be driving down a road, like cruising speeds, and it would just keep hiccuping, like just missing. So I replaced the plugs and the wires. He put an MSD cap on there, so I was thinking maybe I screwed something up when I restabbed this TFI, or not TFI, the distributor. I started thinking maybe something was wrong with the PIP sensor, the TFI module. I bought a little smoke can and did a smoke test on there. I thought maybe vacuum leaks, but I found an article looking real deep into some old Stang net, stuff like that, on a message board. It pointed out that your MAP sensor has to be vacuumed over to your intake. If you don't have a vacuum line on your intake going to your MAP sensor, unless that comp polymer did something different, I mean, it's going to run like shit. It's going to miss. You're going to notice it. It's going to just be hiccuping driving on the road, and just like it'll even surge. I mean, I was even having surges going on too. So what I did is when I read that, I immediately hooked this vacuum line off that tree. I plugged it. I ran this vacuum line underneath the manifold, and I found a different place to hook my PCV up to. That's underneath there. That's underneath. That's actually right there, if you can kind of see it. Yeah. But anyway, that's another vacuum line. It goes over to your PCV valve. But I ran a vacuum line into there and went out for a ride, and it was telling me I had a 22 code. And a 22 code is a out-of-range BAP or MAP sensor. So I'm telling myself, I got a brand new sensor I replaced. I really wish I had my old one, because if I had my old one, I could actually hook it on and see if it changed anything, and I thought I threw it out. But looking through some stuff, and I just stumbled across it, I didn't throw it out. I actually had it. So I popped that back on. Right there's the vacuum line. You can see it. You can see it right there to the left of the plug-in on the bottom. And it was running fine. It started running fine. It idled fine. It actually's got a lot more power. I mean, it just spins its wheels in second gear. I really got to get the third to get moving. I mean, it woke it up immediately. So my belief is that this here was defective. When I put this on back in February and March, before I even had the car put back together, it was defective. I don't know. It's my guess, because it runs fine with the old one. Either that, or maybe the site that I ordered it from gave me the wrong one. I don't know. I could test it, but I don't have the right things. I've did a lot of some kind of scope that I need to test it, and I don't have the stuff to test it to make sure. But anyway, I was hoping this could help somebody out. If you have a speed density Mustang 87 to 88, you do not have MAF conversion on it. It's definitely a speed density Mustang. Make sure these cars get worked on all the time. I'm fixing a lot of things on this car from happy hands for over the last 32 years. Make sure that this vacuum line goes to your intake manifold, or your car will roll like shit. I'm telling you. So I hope this can help somebody. If you know anything or have experienced something like this before, or I can add anything to it, I appreciate it. Talk to you guys later.